Well, let's move on. Talk about demand for electric vehicles is falling dramatically. And I put that on there. And I say that because electrical vehicle sales in the month of April, they declined 5%. Well, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you compare it to the overall car market, now that grew 10%. So that's a big difference from there. And this is the only third monthly decline in 4 years electric vehicles. So it's not happened a lot, but I think things are starting to change, and it's just something that I think we're going to see a change with. And I did a segment on KSI this past week about oil dropping to $50 a barrel. I think we talked about it last week on the podcast. I think that's going to change people's direction as well. Like, why should I buy an electric vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to kind of look at here with the EVs. And one thing as well, I mean, consumers are, while they're still spending, we've talked a lot about this, the consumer is not disappearing.
No.
I think they are slowing. But again, slowing from a high pace is not declining. It's, again, we'll use that word a lot, decelerating. And decelerating is not bad because you're still getting growth out of it, but they are a little bit more cognizant on where they're spending their money. And a lot of the deals on EVs and the promotions, and now especially with this potential change in the tax bill disappearing, well, now people are like, the deal is not as good on EVs as it once was.
Yeah, and I want to point out, it's not just Tesla, because people think, it's Tesla because Elon Musk, he had that political association, which really destroyed, people buying Teslas. I think he lost half his market.
Yeah.
People didn't vote for President Trump, obviously. But it even hit Kia, Hyundai, and Ford. They also experienced drops. Rivian was hit the hardest. They have a pickup truck called an R1T. I think that's the only truck they have, but that's what
they have the SUV and the truck right now.
Okay, so it's trucks. So they have one pickup truck. They saw a decline of 50% of sales in April. That was a huge. That's half their market. What happened? And it's funny. The stock, I think it dropped last month, back up again, but they had a major problem. I'll be interested to see. We'll probably get them. I think the first week of June. Sales in May, what they are. I think it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, no, and I know some don't report every month. Like, I think GM only reports quarterly numbers now.
Really?
I don't think they report monthly sales. I could be incorrect in that, but I don't believe every automaker reports monthly numbers. But I think Rivian does, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what that kind of looks like. And I kind of talked about this as well, but we talked about how a lot of the deals are gone, essentially, when it comes to these EVs. But the other thing, too, and we've talked about this a lot with people when they are buying EVs, a big holdup is the charging of them. And I was talking about this personally. I mean, you and I were talking today, and I'm like, gosh, I saw a Hummer on the street the other day, and I'm like,
beautiful
it's a
car.
beautiful car. And I'm like, man, I think Hummers are really cool. And I kind of in the market maybe for a new truck. And I'm like, I don't want an EV though. I don't want to have to worry about like, I got to charge it. I got to go find a charging station, or how much am I paying on my electric bill now because I don't have solar on my house. The gas station is just so easy that I'm like, if they came out with a ICE or an internal combustion engine Hummer, I'd be much more likely to buy that. But since it's an EV, I'm like, it's not even on my radar right now. And a lot of other people feel the same way. When they were asked in a survey, they said, I don't want to worry about charging. The gas station is so much simpler.
I think it's, I'm going to make this up. I think it's a charging phobia. You are so afraid of running out of charge, which I get it.
Yeah.
Because you run out of charge, how do you, I guess the car would have to be towed.
It'd have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can't go get a canister of gasoline and fill it up.
Well, if it does do that, but if you have a gas car,
that's what I'm saying. Right. You can't go get gasoline and fill up your EV. That's not going to work.
You call AAA. No, sorry, electric vehicle. We'll have to tow it. But again, it is a concern for people that they're worried about. The charging. And I do want to point out, this is only 1 month of electric vehicle sales, and it's not a trend, and that's gonna be for a while. But with the increased production, as I talked about this earlier, of OPEC from oil, they're going to increase by 1 million barrels a day. A large supply of oil is coming on the market. Gas prices should decline, and it just takes away that incentive. And I think the number was right now, not here in San Diego, not in California, but nationwide, the average cost of a gallon of gas now is like $3.20. If oil hits $50 a barrel, they're talking about hitting $2.50 a gallon. So why would you go an electric vehicle? And I think as long as President Trump's in office, I think oil is going to be in a good demand position.
Well, they want to drill, and they know OPEC now is that they're like, OPEC's kind of looked at saying, well, we need to fight for market share. So now they're drilling more. I mean, it's all a benefit essentially for oil prices and the consumer at the end of the day. And, electric vehicles tend to have a premium over the ICE vehicles. So you kind of need that disparity between, well, you're saving money on the charge versus filling up your gas tank. But if that disappears, it's like, well, now the ICE vehicle is much cheaper.
Yep.